A lot of people dislike Kirito, the main protagonist of the Sword Art Online anime series. They think that Kirito is boring, bland, and badly written. He's way too overpowered and doesn't have any real flaws. All the female characters fall in love with Kirito for no reason, and he's a huge Gary Stu. Is Kirito being a Gary Stu an accurate criticism? Let's find out in this video. First of all, we need to know what a Gary Stu is. A Gary Stu is the male version of a Mary Sue. A Mary Sue is a fictional character who is so competent or perfect that this appears absurd, even in the context of the fiction. Mary Sues are often an author's self-insertion or wish fulfillment. They may excel at tasks that shouldn't be possible for them, or they may upstage the protagonist of a fictional setting, such as by saving them. They may disregard previously established aspects of the fiction, such as characterization and natural laws. So, does that sound like Kirito? The answer is a resounding yes. Here is why Kirito is a Gary Stu. 1. Perfect character. Is Kirito a perfect character? Yes, he is. In one interview, Reki Kawahara, the author of Sword Art Online, has even admitted that Kirito is such a perfect character. Almost too perfect. Being so competent or perfect is one of the qualifications of being a Gary Stu, so we can check that off the list. Even if Reki Kawahara didn't acknowledge this, it would be extremely easy to prove that Kirito is such a perfect character. Kirito literally almost never loses a fight in the entire Sword Art Online series, and he can easily defeat high-level bosses or enemies without breaking a sweat. How is it possible for one single player to solo a floor boss? These bosses were designed for a group of players to fight, not one guy. Furthermore, when Kirito did lose a fight, it's because the opponent was cheating. For example, Kayaba Akihiko, the creator of the game, had to break the rules just to beat Kirito in a one-on-one fight. That's how overpowered Kirito is. 2. Self-insert and wish fulfillment. Next, is Kirito an author's self-insertion or wish fulfillment character? The answer again would be yes. Reki Kawahara said that he created the characters of Kirito and Asuna from the wish to become one of the top players he could not be when he was playing MMORPGs. Reki Kawahara was always a mid-level player, and he envied the higher-level players. As you can see, Kirito is definitely the author's wish fulfillment, and he's a self-insert character. Kirito is the type of player that Reki Kawahara always wanted to be, so we can check that off the list as well. Let's move on to the next point. 3. Excelling at tasks. Gary Stus may excel at tasks that shouldn't be possible for them, or they may upstage the protagonist of a fictional setting, such as by saving them. This one also applies to Kirito. It makes sense why Kirito is so overpowered in Sword Art Online. It's because he was a beta tester, and he knew the best low-level training spots, so he got a huge head start over thousands of other players. But Kirito shouldn't be so good in other games like Alfheim Online and Gun Gale Online. When Kirito joined Alfheim Online, he was a complete newbie, and yet his stats somehow carried over from Sword Art Online. He ended up being one of the most powerful players in Alfheim Online. Keep in mind that Alfheim Online was not a new game. It was already out for like a year or so when Kirito joined the game. There should be a bunch of other high-level players as well, and they shouldn't all be losing to Kirito so easily. The same can also be said for Gun Gale Online. Kirito joins the game, in which he has never played before, and he ends up being one of the best players, doing things that no other player has ever thought of. Even though Gun Gale Online is supposed to be the only virtual reality MMORPG in Japan with professional players. Once again, there should be plenty of other high-level players, and they shouldn't all be losing to Kirito so easily. Moreover, Kirito did save Asuna during the end of the Fairy Dance arc, and he saved a bunch of other characters as well throughout the Sword Art Online series. So the part about saving the protagonist of a fictional setting does apply here. Therefore, we can check this point off the list as well. 4. Disregarding rules. That brings us to the final point. They may disregard previously established aspects of the fiction, such as characterization and natural laws. Kirito has done these exact things on multiple occasions. For example, Kirito was supposed to die after getting killed by Heathcliff. However, he managed to somehow stay alive long enough to kill Heathcliff. Additionally, Kirito was able to hack into the game while being inside the game, and converted Yui into an item. How is that possible? Sure, Kirito is good at computers, but you need a lot more to hack into a game server. We can definitely check disregarding the rules off the list as well. As you can see, Kirito does fit all the qualifications of being a Gary Stu. Kirito is a perfect character, he's an author's self-insertion, he excels at tasks that shouldn't be possible, he saves the protagonist of a fictional setting, and he also disregards previously established aspects of the fiction. Do you agree or disagree with what I said? Let me know your opinion in the comments below. Well, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a future upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.